All right, everybody, welcome back to Gen Booms.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
My name is Connor.
I am Robert.
Yep, and today we are back with, you could see it, we're doing Conan Gray. We're doing Wishbone. We're actually going to do the deluxe version, too, since that came out last month. We've done Super Ache.
That was really good.
Yep,
really liked it.
Thoughts on it? Yeah, it was very good.
That's why I wanted, we had, at least I have to, thank the
the
people in the comments, because I really wasn't familiar with Conan. You had heard of him, and I heard some of the stuff. I hadn't heard of Conan Gray. I didn't know anything about him. A lot of comments suggested that, we should check him out, and particularly it said Super Ache. We did. I loved it. And since then, I've listened, as you know, I've listened to the album many times, driving around, and just pop it on and check it out. I really like it. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what else he has. And everybody keeps saying Wishbones is better than Super Ache, so I'm like, well, bring it on.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, like you said, I knew a little bit. I heard a couple songs here and there. I figured he'd be similar to Olivia, so I was like, cool, I'd be down to try it. But yeah, I wouldn't have really checked him out as early as now on the channel if it wasn't for everybody recommending him. So, but yeah, I was just the same, very pleasantly surprised. So I'm pretty happy to check out Wishbone too.
Yeah.
So he's got 12. Yeah, 12 on Wishbone, and then we're doing the deluxe, so it's gonna be another 5 on the deluxe. So we're just gonna get started here, I think.
That sounds good to me.
Oh, and I will mention, Vodka Cranberry is the third song. I haven't heard it, but I've heard of that one. I know that's the single, so I haven't heard it, but I know that one's a single.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll start. Number 1 is Actor.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Nobody saw us in the hotel lobby, and nobody saw us with your sweatshirt on me, and nobody saw us leaving bruises on our necks in a summer span. Nobody wondered where you went all April, like kicking feet under the whole damn world's table. But the church bells won't stop ringing for an undead wedding day, and you've spent the summer drinking while I spent it being erased. And I tried to hide the feeling, but it just won't go away. Let's pretend you're a much better actor than me. A friend of mine asked you, ever talk to Conan? You didn't react, you said, I barely even fucking know him. And now I'm lives ago. And the church bells won't stop ringing for an undead wedding day, and you spent the summer drinking while I spent it being erased. Let's pretend nothing happened, I agree, but you're a much better actor than me. If you ever cared, well, I would know. Blame it on a bad manic episode. Tell all your friends that she's the one, and you could say it's love, but the church bells won't stop ringing for an undead wedding day, and you spent your whole life drinking, oh, drinking me away. You pretend nothing happened, I believe, 'cause you're a much better actor.
Well, I really built up.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool. Musically, that was really cool. I like how it built up.
Yeah.
We were about halfway through the song, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's gonna be another tough album."
Yeah.
I figured it's Conan Gray, and especially off the last one. But I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, dealing with the stuff in his life and all that, and like initially I was just thinking, okay, that's saying we were we're going to pretend that nothing happened. I agree. But you're a much better actor than me. Like it's hard for me to, the classic. But then as it went on, I was like, oh, it seems like he actually did have a relationship with somebody who probably wasn't a real actor, because at one point I was even talking about like when you meet a girl in some TV show, there's a side of you that she'll never know. Like, oh, like this guy was, not saying that he was with another guy at some point, not with Conan or whatever. It sounds like this might be some guy at least acting hetero or whatever. But it seemed like maybe he actually hooked up with some guy who was an actor and they had a good time or something, for a while. I don't know.
I don't know entirely if even maybe that was just meant to be a metaphor.
It could be, exactly.
There's such a good actor that basically came from a TV show.
It's just that it was so specific about, if you meet a girl on a TV show.
That line stuck out too. But in general, I like the song.
And it's something people can relate to.
For sure, yeah.
Like, when you do break up and you're like, everything's good. But one of you just generally is more like, because one of you actually moved on, you generally. So that person, it's already built up in their head, before they ever said the words that they're leaving you, whatever, they've already kind of gotten used to it. And the other person is the one who generally just was like, gets out of the blue, like, whoa, what? And then they're the one.
That, or because here it sounds like he's saying, like, I mean, neither of them are really moving on, because he said like what was it? They're just like, you're drinking and I'm just lying. So it's like we're both struggling here. You spent the summer drinking, I spent it being erased. That sounds more like Conan might have been a little bit more into it, and that's harsh. Like that line, I spent it being erased. That's a good one,
Ooh,
it's like I haven't done anything to try and erase like you, but I've just been doing nothing and being erased by you. So
because you're acting like nothing ever happened. That's kind of brilliant.
That is a good one.
Good stuff. Good start to the album.
I agree. We'll go next to this song. Here we go.
All right.
It sounds sort of happy.
You know that I love you, and I hear your heart like a train on the tracks. Your eyes are like heaven, your voice is like rain. 11s, they all hear your name. I'm too shy to tell you the words on my mind, that I wrote this song about you. Cry when she hears Elton John. You're singing obnoxious, I'm laughing like spring. Your brown racer jacket, my hands through the sleeves, that I wrote this song about you. Something I wish you knew, something I tried to say. I wrote this song about you. You know that I love you. Is it done believing you might love me too?
Nice. In the middle there was like a whole orchestra going in the background, the swelling in the background. It's kind of nice.
Almost like a marching band. Because with the drums, like
especially that part. Cool. Like it reminded me just thematically of this is going way back. Jim Croce in the '70s had a song called I'll have to say I love you in a song.
Oh, yeah,
It's the same
yeah.
idea, which is that
Yeah.
I get shy and I try to say I love you and I just fumble and I can't do it. So
Yeah.
he wrote a song,
So
the same kind of thing.
about
He
it.
wrote a song saying I have to say I love you in a song, and in the song he's saying I love you. So basically the same idea.
Yeah.
And it makes sense too. I can see, sometimes where you want to say it, you're not sure the person's going to react. So you put it out there, and especially if you're a good songwriter and a singer like Conan, they got
Swing them
okay, now
over.
it's out there, and at the end, now you know that I love you. Like, all right, well, that's
well,
pretty
that's
awesome.
it.
Not only do I love you, I wrote a song, so it's kind of even better. Like,
Hopefully, man. Hopefully it works out.
yeah, exactly. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I agree. It was happy.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
surprising.
like you said that, it just sounds happy. And then, like, the
happy.
very first line is
Pretty
like,
happy.
I love you. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, pretty happy.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it stays that way, but we'll see the rest of the album.
Yeah. I like the little other drums too. Like towards the end, it had like a kick in. I don't know if you remember, but
There was some little
Like the last
cool,
minute.
like I said, little marching band stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And like the swelling, like violins, violas, and stuff in the middle. It was cool. Yeah.
yeah. Next we got Vodka Cranberry.
Oh yeah, you said this
yeah,
was
this is
the
hit,
big
so
one, so to speak.
I'm,
Okay.
yeah, excited for this one. Here we go.
You say we're fine, but your brown eyes are green this time. So you've been crying, it's in the way you say my name. February 4th through the 16th of May, so strange to be back at your place, pretending like nothing has changed. Oh, speak up, I know you hate me. Got way too drunk off of vodka cranberry. Called you up in the middle of the night, waiting like an imbecile. If you won't end things, then I will. Shirt and your polo cap. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I notice everything you do. Since the time we took a break, 'cause I know what you're too scared to say. Oh, speak up, I know you hate me. Looked at your picture and cried like a baby. Called you up in the middle of the night, waiting like an imbecile. If you won't end things, then I will.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know you hate me. Looked at your picture and cried like a baby. Called you up in the middle of the night, waiting like an imbecile. If you won't end things, then I
Okay, so the love did fall apart again.
If it's in order, I mean,
Yeah, well, true.
it's a whole bunch. But some crazy singing there.
Oh, I know.
One of his
just
best
like-
that we've heard.
Right. I mean, yeah, he's always had a beautiful voice, but like, wow, I didn't know he could
Yeah, that
hit
was
that.
really good.
That note was like, damn.
Yeah.
Could we hear that again? That was.
Oh, actually, I think we can.
that was.
Not me. It's still going in the background.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah,
There. Yeah.
crazy.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
That was a really cool note. Yeah. And speaking of, especially when it comes back around for the chorus, I will say, at first I was like, oh, okay, like it's a cool song. I'm not quite sure why it was the single, but then I was like, with the repeating chorus and that part, I was like, oh, okay, I can see like a bunch of people singing it on like in concert.
Yeah.
So I can see that part. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Like, just it doesn't have to be vodka cranberry, but whatever. But sometimes you're drinking or whatever, just trying to numb the pain or whatever it is, and then you call up the person in the middle of the night, and sometimes you say or do things that you
it's normally not going to go
that you wish you hadn't done sometimes, or maybe you do wish, or maybe you actually did something you can't do when you're sober or whatever. So it's any which way. But
it's not like.
Yeah.
Okay. No. It sounds like he's sort of just getting tired of it. He's like, man, I feel like I already know that you're done with me, but you won't say it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough line. I mean, like, speak up, I know you hate me. Is like, I mean, that might be hyperbole or whatever, too. But, I mean, it also, if things aren't going well, you just feel like, oh, you don't love me, you fucking hate me. Like,
yeah, definitely. I think, I agree. I think it's easy to feel that way, even if it's not entirely true, but it's like...
Right. And the next line, though, like, it's kind of a common thing, like, when it does breaking up or whatever, like, looked at your picture and cried like a baby.
Oh, yeah, you have to. I
mean,
it's just not human if you can.
Yeah. So,
I thought, that definitely makes sense in the waiting, because the first song was like a breakup. Oh, yeah, it was like, but I'm just pretending. This almost is like continues from that one. Because that one's like, we're both pretending. This one's like, I'm tired of it. Like, I know that you hate me. This is ridiculous. Like, this, just call it out. This sucks.
Right. And especially because, like he said, that they took a break.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And very specific, he knows the dates.
Yeah,
it was, till May 16th or whatever.
Yeah, like, February 4th and May 16th.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, he's, counting the days kind of a thing. So, yeah. So it wasn't going, there were signs. Great. And, yeah. So anyway, a cool song. I like it.
Yeah. Now we'll move on to Romeo.
Alrighty.
Here we go. Interesting. A whole bunch of interesting noises.
I was out praying for you, that's why my friends pray for me. Even on my worst day, I was never treating you the selfish way that you treated me. Even in my worst pain, I was never dragging you around, so you'll carry my shame for free. So I hope you know I'm never gonna want you back. You put me in a grave of stone, but now it only makes me laugh. Spending my summer in love, then I went and got dumb, so I did it all damn for what? You're no Romeo. Never like sitting around your egoist actor friends. Never liked kissing your mouth with cigarettes on your breath. Looking back, I don't know why I got so up in arms about losing you by my side. Looking back, I wish I listened to my friends who said I could get a much better guy. So I hope you know I'm never gonna want you back. You put me in a grave of stone, but now it only makes me laugh. Spending my summer in love, then I went and got dumb, so I did it all damn for what? You're no Romeo. Where art thou? I'm all alone now. Where art thou? I'm back in your hometown. You've gotta figure out your shit with someone else, man. I can't fix you. So I hope you know I'm never gonna want you back. You put me in a grave of stone, but now it only makes you laugh. Spending my summer in love, then I went and got dumb, so I did it all damn for what? You're no Romeo. No, you're no Romeo.
Well, it definitely seems like a callback from Actor, because
It is sort of progressing the same way.
yeah.
He was annoyed and now he's done.
Right, but I mean, he's again talking about him, the other guy being an actor and being with girls.
It is true, yeah.
Kind of pretending
I forgot
that,
about
yeah,
that.
he literally he says the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I was just your experiment. Like,
Yeah, that is
yeah.
the actor egoist friends, I think he said. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, like I didn't want to. I didn't like hanging around with your actor ego friends or egoists.
Yeah,
yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so it definitely seemed like it's related to the actor.
Yeah, it
in
does.
the earlier
sound like that,
song. But anyway, yeah, that was a cool song again, though. Like the interesting callbacks on one for the actor song, and then just the wherefore art thou?
Yeah, that was funny.
Romeo, I guess some of the lines he has on there, and that Romeo would die for his love, and so to speak.
No, I mean, he would. I mean, just that's he wasn't smart either. I mean,
Well, no, no, but of course, the idea of Romeo.
yeah, exactly.
And,
the romanticized version.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and So I mean that part that was cool, and then just saying you're no Romeo, like you're not
Which is sort of the
serious.
point most people get to a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know if they're necessarily like you suck, but they're just like I don't need you. You're nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's not uncommon.
He's still a
to
little.
get to.
He's still a little. He might not fully be over them at this point because he's still like you suck. Like he's a little. He's holding on. He's holding on for sure.
True, yeah, because I mean, there's elements where he's basically saying I got over you, like but clearly kind of hasn't. Really.
Yeah, when you're saying I hope you know I'm never gonna want you back, but that's the chorus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not really,
Yeah,
ain't quite over them yet.
But as it progresses,
Yeah, you get in there.
You get there, and then probably will on a future song.
Yeah, maybe the next one.
Yeah,
It's progressing pretty fast here.
interesting little things at the beginning, like we were saying, like a little whistle sound or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was
I
weird.
was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, weird noises, man.
Yeah. Anyway, cool song.
All right, now we're on to My World.
All right.
Here we go. Okay. Sounds fun too.
Yeah, it does. We're driving right off the beat. Off the bat.
I found approval as the remedy. Every fucking person I would have to please. Maybe I got that from you. But why? It's my world and it's my life. It's my girl and it's my guy. I'll kiss some if I might like. I don't have you in mind. There was a time when you were everything. All my self-assessment on your thought of me. Couldn't tell you who I was before. It's my world and it's my life. It's my girl and it's my guy. I'll kiss some if I might like. I don't have you in mind. I don't have you in A full year later, you're calling me back. You got your revenge by being stuck with your life. So you can keep drinking and living a lie. And talking all low when you're out with the guys. Doesn't matter to me, it won't affect my life. 'Cause I don't care anymore. But why? It's my world and it's my time. I'll waste it how I might like. I don't have you in mind. I don't have you in mind.
Well, continuing what we were saying on the last song, the chorus of I don't have you in mind, and I keep repeating it. It's like
Gives you- yeah.
clearly you have them in mind. Like
Yeah. He's still. It is very much a good. So far, it actually continued. Like, oh my bad. The same storyline throughout the album so far. First 5 songs.
yeah.
Surprising.
No, that definitely is. Yeah, it even has a callback to Romeo right up the bat.
Yeah, off the bat. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, wow, okay.
So same person he's talking about. This guy who apparently it seems like he keeps sort of saying some summer
A summer fling, basically.
Well, yeah, they're the guy saying it was a summer fling, but basically they were together in summer. I presume not any longer. So.
Well, except for that other song said, February to May, they had a break. So unless that's a different person.
That's true.
Because he did talk about summer fling a couple of songs. But that one song, like, well, if you were on break from February to May, you were with him before February.
That'd be really funny. Like, it'd be really messed up. But it'd be really funny if they were together for like a year, and the other guy's like, "That's just a summer fling." Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, maybe, but if you actually knew you were on a break, but because I have had friends who are like
5-month break.
Yeah, that's a
pretty long break.
Because I've had people, friends who are just like, we're in this big relationship together. Like, does she know that?
Really?
Well, I mean, many years ago, like,
Well, yeah.
Or it was just like, I'm not sure she's feeling it the same.
Yeah, I could see it.
Just sometimes the friends will see stuff and they're like, dude, she's not really that into you. Anyway, so. I'm just saying, like, maybe he was way into it and the other person wasn't, and maybe they didn't feel the same, or they thought they felt the same, and maybe that's why he had to say, he wrote a song to say I love you, but maybe the other person didn't even realize it.
True. Yeah.
Who knows?
But it sounds like the person is regretting it because they said call back a full year later.
Yeah, a full year later.
That was a full year later.
Yeah.
Which that's a long time. We don't quite know how long they were together, but a year later, from what we've gathered, almost sounds like that's longer than they were together. Is what it's sounding like, which is crazy.
That is true, and at least that person realized that he had, I assume he had treated Conan like trash.
Yeah.
So
Conan didn't care for it apparently.
Yeah, that was kind of a good line. Like you're basically paying revenge is you're stuck with your life.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Particularly if that person is just going out with girls and is pretending that he's
just like
hetero and just pretending
nothing on him.
And so stuck with a life because you're not really being yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. I like that line. The talking all low when you're out with the guys. That's sort of funny.
Yeah, that was how he sang it too.
Yeah.
He talked low because he even got his voice went down.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like as a straight guy, you just don't really notice if you're talking low or other guys are talking low. But I could imagine, like, if I was gay and I noticed somebody else, I'm like, why are you talking low? Like, what are you doing? Like.
I guess, except for like at the same time, like having had gay friends and a gay roommate at one point. Like, I mean, it didn't. Well, because
you don't know.
I didn't even, just like one of the guys. Basically, it wasn't. So I wouldn't necessarily think, because he's gay, has a high voice or nothing. No, like that's not.
That's why it must have been that obvious.
The guy's really
so low. It's like, what are you doing?
Then it's a little unusual. Yeah,
it's like when a straight guy tries to pretend to be gay to get like the sleepover,
Oh,
yeah. It's like, all right, what are we doing?
All right. Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, Class Clown, next one.
All right.
Might be about the same person.
Half my friends barely know who I am, and there's none at fault but the zone singing man. Don't wanna hear that I'm trailer trash. It's a heavy topic for crystal glass. Everything comes back around. I still feel like the class clown. Take your pick, be left out or left with. I learned early on either way it's a shit stick. While my father was barreling fists, I was laughing all the way through it. Everything comes back around. I still feel like the class clown. Everything comes back around. I still feel like the class clown. Everything is over now. I still feel like the class clown. Everything comes back around. I still feel like the class clown. Nothing funny about that home, but her and I, we already know. Everything
musically, it kind of reminded me of like the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album. Like there was
okay.
a lot of like just interesting
weird.
stuff. Like you know,
Yeah.
then there's a whole orchestra like swelling in the background, but then there's some weird weird things going, and so
It's
anyway.
weird for sure musically.
Yeah. So
Very
it
different.
was a different, and yeah, definitely. I don't know why it just reminded me of the Sgt. Pepper's. But yeah, I mean, like, it makes it interesting, and it seemed like there was a callback to Family Line in one sense from
Yeah, talking back to his family.
yeah, because he's talking with his. I mean, one talking about his dad, and you know, with his fist, and then talking about with his sister, and they're like looking back, and they're laughing, and but like so. Yeah, I was like, hey, went through some shit, and he's able to laugh about it now.
It's like he's got
to some degree.
almost like a love-hate relationship with comedy, like the fact that he laughs through it.
Yeah, I mean that's not an uncommon thing,
For
right?
sure,
Like, either
yeah.
you're gonna crying all the time, or you're just gonna laugh about it and just
Yeah.
go with it. And I don't know if he actually was like the class clown in school, but
Sound like he was.
so it sounds like it was based on that. He just
Which is pretty common. I mean, that's like a very common trope. A lot of the funniest people, especially in like high school, is like they just have a lot of trauma and they can just make it into comedy.
true, yeah. And
Typically.
sometimes it's just like trying to deflect and and be funny and you get attention and and
Yeah.
that's why not? Especially if you're good at it.
Yeah.
So.
I definitely did like that concept of like sometimes it helps, other times it's bad. Because I like this line here where he's like, half my friends barely know who I am, and there's none at fault but his own singing man. Because then going on to talk about all the joking about things, because it is like a pretty common, if you're like, you act like you're okay with friends, and also you're just like joking about things to make light of it. But so that way they never really know if you're struggling. So that sounds like that's what's happening.
Yeah, and that is, like I said, it's not an uncommon thing, and it's too bad when you feel like you have to perform or whatever to do that, but it's certainly understandable, and sometimes it is the ones you think are like the funniest and the
Oh, for
ones
sure,
that have it,
yeah.
like the most together, and I knew somebody who committed suicide, and we all thought he was the nicest, funniest guy. Everybody
Yeah, that's typically the
loved that
happiest.
guy. He seemed like he had his act together.
Yeah.
And
It's like, no, he was miserable.
yeah, he was
Miserable. That's why he tried to make everybody else happy.
extremely miserable, and
Yeah,
we
exactly.
didn't pick up on it, and you feel bad. Like, how did I miss that? Like, we all missed it.
Yeah, exactly. Because in retrospect, then you're like, man, if anybody, like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, damn. But yeah, when you're going through it, you're like, no, that person's so happy.
Yeah, seemed so happy and was cheering everybody else up.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why it's good to check on your friends. Everybody check on your friends.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
You really never know.
If they're making you laugh, you go, okay, but behind the laughter.
Yeah, they make a really good joke. You're like, are you all right? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, cool idea on that song there.
We'll go on to Nauseous.
You just wanna dance. My mind sees a grisly trap. I know you, I've seen you, I've watched you around. Everyone trusts you, they love you out loud. Your love is a threat, and I'm nauseous. Scares me to death how I want it. Not common sense, but I'm haunted by people who've left. So you scare me to death, yeah, you scare me. With people before, they left like a fallen floor, and there as I soared, I vowed to be nevermore. And maybe that's why I feel safe with bad guys, because when they hurt me, I won't be surprised. Your love is a threat, and I'm nauseous. Scares me to death how I want it. So you scare me to death, yeah, you scare me. Maybe I'm here waiting for someone to really love someone, but that's not a thing that I learned from my loved ones. Oh, your love is a threat, and I'm nauseous by people who've left, so you scare me to death. Yeah, you scare me. Yeah, you scare me.
I really like that one.
That's a good one. I
That
really
was
like it.
great. Oh man, I love that. It's very touching. And great line, many great lines in there. Even like down right around right now, just that. You know,
that
like
was the hardest one.
Like
I think, yeah.
I know that it's in me to really love someone, but that's not a thing I learned from my loved ones. Whether it's his family or other, loves, and like, wow, that's a
Yeah, that's a good line.
that was,
That
that was
definitely, it shows how hard it is when it's, your family. If something doesn't help, like from the start.
yeah,
there's
yeah.
something.
And then with other people have you been with and stuff, and so that it's, so I can see, like now it's like it's
tough.
You want to love somebody, but it scares you to death because you don't want to have your heart broken again.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, some great lines of just like, you're holding my hand and I'm seeing like a grizzly trap, like I'm scared, like that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there were just so many good. I couldn't even remember them all. They were just going by, and I was like, man, that's some deep stuff, and like because it's not. I mean, love isn't common sense, right? Like it's. Like if you think of things logically, you're like, oh, this is bad. Or there's red flags, there's whatever. And it's like, no, you just
It's terrible.
you just go with it. Like, then love is quite often illogical.
Yeah, you just throw everything out the window. It's a hope and a pray.
Yeah,
It's hope and praying. That's it.
yeah. And even logically, you could think I should be with this person.
Yeah.
But I love this person.
Yeah.
You don't even know why.
Yeah. Or even if you do, like, I should love this person, I'll go with that person. Didn't work. Like, you never know. So it just.
Yeah.
never
So
know.
some really good lines though. Yeah, just like I'm haunted, by people who've left. So you scare me to death. Like that totally makes sense. Like just. And I hadn't thought of it as being nauseous. That's interesting. It's like, oh, you're making me sick. Like in a way, because like, oh crap, but it's more like you're feeling sick because I'm falling in love and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. And he also does say here that maybe that's why I feel safe with bad guys. When they hurt me, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, that's a good line. See, that's.
Another good one. And also, I mean, I think there's part of it, similar to when we were talking about, like, Olivia's albums, where there's part of it I think he knows, like, he's playing a factor. Because, like, obviously he knows, like, it's not really his fault he's had so many problems. But he knows, like, I'm going for these guys. Because everybody's known somebody like that, where you've had a friend, you're like, I just can't get a relationship. Like, yeah, because you're going for the dumbest freaking people. Like,
Yeah.
could have told you on the first date that person's that good. Like, are you kidding me?
True, but yeah, you like what you like or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, some really good line. Even that one like that.
I lost it now.
That's okay. No, just behind every kiss is a jaw that could bite.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one.
That's it's true. You don't really think of it that way, but like what feels good could hurt you. So anyway, so many good lines. I really liked that one a lot. I loved it. That was a great song.
Now we got Caramel.
All righty.
1, 2.
Well, in the moment, you weren't all that kind. You with your wide-eyed grins, all I can see when I think of that time. Did me wrong in the past, and I know it was bad, but you burned inside my memory so well. Your cigarette breath thick on your open mouth, maple and amber clouds and coffee grounds when I think of it now.
So not fully over.
No, as we expected.
Well, yeah, that's not a comedy either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a poppy one though.
Yeah.
Like sort of happy, even though it's
Well,
not
yeah, because it's kind of remembering the good stuff. I mean, at least remembering, when I was with you, I like kissing you. I like, the sweetness of, whatever.
True.
It is, you're like caramel in my mouth, kind of thing, whatever.
Although,
So,
I mean, a lot of it is negative.
oh yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like realizing, that things weren't great, but at the same time realizing, but when you're in town, let's hook up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But it definitely keeps pulling back on the other stuff, like like the actor and
Yeah.
That's coming back into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that was pretty cool, pretty interesting song. I like more peppy.
Yeah, pretty poppy. Yeah.
Yeah. So so kind of nice.
Yeah, nothing too much on it.
Yeah, pretty straightforward on that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll move on to Connell, I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 N's, 2 L's, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
So there you
I
go.
don't know what.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like an Irish name, like O'Connell or something.
True, but there's usually an O there, so
Yeah,
we'll see what it is.
There we go.
I saw you in a photograph with some brunette girl, and I head back laughing. I almost hurled when I saw your hand down the small of her back. You were never outside with me, spent my summer months in your unwashed sheets, and I know it's dumb that I'd ever think that I'd meet your mom and dad. Deep in my bones, I know pain is what I earn, and you remind me of how good it feels to hurt. Yeah, you remind me of how little I deserve. To break apart my own heart again, validate the worst thoughts inside my head, that I'm not worth shit and I'm better dead. Who's a victim in the end? Skipping your stones at my window in the dark, and you remind me of how good it feels to hurt. And you remind me of how little I deserve. Yeah, you remind me of my father slurring words. God, no.
Interesting outro.
Yeah, those dissonant chords and all that. I mean, I'm kind of feeling like
like things are
Connell
slowing.
is the guy.
I know,
Connell is
right?
That's the name of the
Just call him
person.
out.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, he's in London. He's an actor.
It's getting really.
And
Yeah, it stops. Yeah, it
yeah.
sounded like it was slowing down.
Yeah, very wild,
Okay.
like, dissonant chords, and they got,
Yeah.
we're like, just like, I'm stuck, kissing your ghost, and it's just making me feel miserable. You remind me of how little I deserve, and putting him, kind of calling him like, his dad, you remind me of my father slurring words.
I know, I
Like
saw
he's
it on a-
drunk
oof.
and just
bad.
being an asshole, so. Oof.
Not a happy one, man.
No,
Not a
but
good one.
it kind of like, yeah, I mean, he's kind of realizing it's partly his fault, like in a sense. Well, he even says that, kissing your ghost is my own fucking fault. I think he said something like that, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, right there. Kissing your ghost is my own damn fucking fault.
Yeah.
Deep in my bones, I know pain is what I know. Yeah, so like, you remind me of how good it feels to hurt. Like sometimes, which kind of maybe plays on like what he said in the last song of like, yeah, but when you're in town, like, you know, call me, we'll get together. Because it seemed like maybe they got together and then it's just like, I'm just like, but I'm like kissing your ghost. And it's just, you know, doing that is my own fault. Like kissing the ghost, like of what was, you know, this relationship.
True.
And so it's like they hooked back up, which kind of follows right after the last song. And they hooked back up, and all that did was just remind me of, you know, the pain, but, you know, how good it feels to hurt. But then some of the other crap of just like, but it's not good, you know.
Yeah,
because
because
it's really bad.
he says here, like, you know, I'm not your type, but you're trying things, so that's everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like he's acknowledging, like, well, that wasn't smart in hindsight.
Yeah.
Well, not your type. Yeah, that is in general. I think that's a good rule. If you're ever experimenting in a relationship, I don't think you're gonna get married. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and if this person is like experimenting with, you know,
With guys?
with being with another guy,
Yeah.
who's normally
No,
pretending to be straight, like,
That's a terrible idea.
that's not gonna go
Yeah.
well. You know, whatever it is, but
So yeah.
that's pretty tough. Like, yeah. So I'm guessing that's the name of the person.
I was like, is that his name?
Or unless
He
it's
actually
like
just said his
a
name.
play on the name or something. Because
Maybe. Yeah.
Because he definitely like, I'm from Texas and you're from London. It's like, all right, he's
London,
calling the guy
yeah.
out there, like, you know, but
I know.
I don't know. I'm sure people will let us know if
Yeah, they'll probably
is it
know.
an actor named Connell in London. Is this like,
Like Texas.
or maybe he's just doing a play on the name or something. Who knows? Whatever. But interesting. But yeah, he's really was
You're not happy, man.
getting into devolving to some anguish at the end there.
Yeah.
You know, just thinking of
Yeah.
that person clearly, like, you know, shouting out the name, but those chords and everything was really getting
Getting dark.
getting dark and
Yeah.
anguished there. So
See where that goes. Next one's called Sunset Tower. Sort of sounds better.
okay.
Here we go. Okay.
Peppy or
Yeah,
something.
sounds better.
Heard you in the city, you felt like total shit. Walking past the Tower Hotel, I used to pick you up after shooting all day. We drive around talking about how we hate this place. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I can't hear it. Don't tell me. And I know what you said as I was leaving your place. You've got a messed up head and you need some space. I said, yeah, that's clear. Go get some help. But if you're working on yourself, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I wish you the best, but hope that you die inside every time I'm playing in London. If there is someone new that you're out here fucking, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I can't hear it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. No, don't tell me.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, for being actually kind of not necessarily a fun what he's saying.
Yeah, it's not super bad, but
But yeah, definitely was, it was a good vibe. It was kind
the
of
music was
fun
nice.
and some again, some really good lines but they're like tougher but makes sense. I mean, like I like that I wish you the best, but I hope you die inside.
I know, I was laughing at that. I was like,
I mean, well, I hope you die inside every time I'm playing in London. Like, if I'm doing a concert there, like, I'm nearby and you can't have me or something like that, well,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but I wish you the best, but I hope you die inside.
yeah, it is funny, man.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I found out why he's struggling to move on here. It seems like he keeps getting information. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it does
That's
say
what's
that.
keeping you looped in.
Right?
man.
Yeah. Lucas, stop it, Luca. What are you doing, man?
Lucas says you're dating again. Yeah, I know.
It's horrible getting news through a friend. Yeah.
I think he's now, he's realizing, as I think most people do, especially in this day and age, when you can like go on Instagram and always check. It's like, stop trying to get updates because you're just gonna mess yourself
better
up.
just
Like
cut it off. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, something else we keep repeating over and over. Don't tell me.
don't tell me.
I'm surprised he didn't call the song "Don't Tell Me" instead of Sunset Tower,
I know.
which I think is the name of a hotel in Hollywood, off of Sunset Boulevard.
I was wondering. I was like, it just sounds like something that'd be.
Which also got to make sense
in
if he
LA.
was, they're both in L.A. and he, Conan's here, and
they
the guy
are.
was an actor, and maybe he was in Hollywood for whatever reason. Unless there's a Sunset Tower in London, but I mean,
or Texas.
yeah,
If
I
he
know there
happened
is,
to be there.
there are some nice hotels along Sunset Boulevard, which is where a lot of
Yeah.
actors stay and stuff up here. So, and anyway, I don't know much more to say, but there's some cool lines, and but I also get the idea of just like you said, like just don't tell me. I don't want to hear about it. I got to move. At some point, you got to move on.
You got to. Yeah. So I mean, it's been a few songs now. He's stuck. He's sort of stuck in there. Hopefully, he gets out of it.
Yeah, it was just perfectly natural too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we got 11:11.
Okay.
Don't know what that's about.
Shooting star on the night we first kissed. Like a sign, if I blink, you'll be missed. 'Cause I'll wait forever. I won't look for better. I'll find signs for you and I. There's wishbones and clovers and numbers from heaven, shapes in the stars to invent our connection. As much as I act like I want to forget it, I still wish for you at 11:11. What am I reading horoscopes for? You're still wearing those fucked up white Nikes, so maybe you're superstitious like me. 'Cause I'll wait for nothing over you and I. There's wishbones and clovers and numbers from heaven, shapes in the stars to invent our connection. As much as I act like I want to forget it, I still wish for you at 11:11. I still wish for you. Wishbones, clovers, salt spilling over. Why don't you come back? That shit's over my shoulder. There's black cats, broke glass, cracks on the pavement, but I just can't accept that it's too late to save us. As much as I know that it's time to forget it, I still wish for you at 11:11. I still wish for you.
All right, so I'm guessing Wishbone coming from this. I mean, that's how.
Yeah, exactly. The superstitiousness of it.
Yeah, so much superstitiousness.
Makes
Except that
sense.
one part where it's wishbones, clovers,
Yeah, he's like, wishbone clovers, salt
spilling over. There, and then there's black cats, broke glass, cracks on the pavement. I just can't accept that it's too late to save us. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, and again, it happens a lot in relationships. I mean, in breakups and stuff. But as like, sometimes you might come to a point where you're like, man, and you're like right there, you're like, oh, I gotta get over this person. No, fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. Nope.
Yeah, 'cause I almost thought this song should have been maybe a little earlier because it seemed like he was making progress, and now he's like,
That happens.
I want to be back together. What's
Yeah.
going on here? Yeah, that the heart wants what it wants, kind of.
Yeah, and it's a sort of a happy-ish song, sort of like the way he made it.
Yeah.
Like you just keep singing it over and over. So
Right, but also he's kind of knowing that he's kind of just wishing for something that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, it's superstitious.
you know. But even though he's like, I can't accept that it's
Yeah, I can't accept.
too late for us. But
Yeah.
it's
So it's an interesting idea, man. We'll see if it works out for him. I think I know the answer, but you never. I mean, there are sometimes, there's definitely sometimes some people, I'm sure, they're just like, no, I'm in on it. That's basically the movies. Every
Well,
guy
true.
is just like, I'm not accepting it. I'm gonna just keep.
Well, that's
I'm gonna
true.
get that girl back, and then by the end of the movie, they're back.
I know that's true. They get it back, and maybe it could be the same thing. Like this guy, he comes out. He's like, no, like I'm not going to be a girl anymore. This is the person I love. It can happen.
It can, yeah.
Right.
It could.
yeah.
If you want to gamble that's on you. You could do that. I feel like there's definitely been some people. As long as you can still find a way to be happy, if you're just more like, man, fuck it, I'm sticking with this person, then I mean, you try it. You can try it.
Yeah, and it can be tough because sometimes people will say like, such a thing. Oh, you got to fight for her, fight for
some
him.
people.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if the thing ended, it's like, oh no, you got to fight.
Yeah.
That person's already with somebody new. Like, I really. That seems
Well,
like
I mean,
a losing game, man.
In this
I don't know.
case, but in this case, you might be like, yeah, but they're with a girl. They like guys. They're just lying anyway, so it don't even matter.
Well, the person's bi though. That's
no,
a tougher.
That's a tough one, man. You got to tell the creator in there. You're like, can't compete with everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Interesting.
It's a good song though.
Yeah, it was good, and peppy for being, so kind of negative, but not necessarily totally negative. Just he's really like he wants to
Yeah.
kind of keep trying, or wants
He
to.
sort of wants,
back.
yeah, sort of wants to keep trying.
Yeah. Anyway, so cool.
Because I also know in the cover for Wishbone, it's him in like a sailor outfit carrying the wishbone,
Yeah.
which almost makes it look like he's like fighting through a storm, trying to protect the superstitiousness.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the picture of it. That this is from the album cover.
I believe it is.
Yeah,
I
okay.
believe so. So hopefully we'll have it here. You guys know what we're talking about. But if not, just be like, what?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it looks like that's sort of what's going on. Is he's sort of like holding on to and protecting basically the sort of stupid idea of the wishbone.
Right. Yeah, because he does talk about a lot of superstitious things,
Mm-hmm.
at least in that song. So, okay, yeah, interesting.
Next, we're on Care, which that one's actually the last one, and then you get to the deluxe songs.
Oh, this is okay.
So this is the last one for the regular album. Apparently, we forgot to set the lights.
Dang, yeah. All right, well, we're going to go without lights for
All right, here we go. Last one on the regular Wishbone. That's fun.
Charlie, when do you shout? He says he can tell that you're doing well. Finally, out of your spell. Now all that I want is just to move on. But there will always be parts of me that are yours. And I don't cry 'cause it is over. I just don't feel like I could love again. And I told myself
Another relatable one in that, when I mean, after a breakup where I told myself I'm over you, but actually I still care. Like
Yeah. That's actually that makes sense for the ending of the original album, because it definitely seemed like, all right, he's sort of on his way. He's actually breaking through and getting there.
Right. Because it's just like he's realizing it, and that he's moving on, but he's still admitting that. But I still care. Especially like a couple right there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good. It just the tough lines that it's well, it's nice to linger in the past, but like it's good to know that you're not attached. But why does it trigger me so bad to see you with somebody who is not me, and you're happy?
Yeah.
All right. But that's that is the tough part. You move on, you separate. And then that person was somebody new.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's almost like you don't even necessarily have to still be, what is it called? Like hung up on them, but it's also just even like in a normal context. Like that's just sort of human nature. You're like, well, damn, like they did it before me. Like they already got it.
Yeah.
So I think even if you've moved on, you're just like, it hurts a little. Just be like, that sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's definitely a bunch of little things that's just like, oh, that sucks. Like he says here, he's like, what does he say? I'm not, not that part. Where's the other part where he's like,
it's probably farther up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that part. He says, I don't cry because it's over. I just don't feel like I could love again.
Mm-hmm.
Which that part also goes into not over you, but also just, I think that's also really common for a period. You might have a problem if it stays consistent for the rest of your life, but for a period, you'd be like, all right, well, I'm sort of over you now, but don't know if I can love again. So then you're just real sad about that.
Yeah, no, that's not
normal.
Not uncommon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, that's pretty cool. Hang on one second. Just keep it on. Feel free to just talk to the...
What up, viewers?
I just turn this down.
He's getting the lights back on.
I want those lights. Yeah, I want the lights back on. That's the lights being off is annoying me. So my bad.
Fair enough.
Keep going.
Oh yeah. This probably will be edited out. So for the people maybe on Patreon that ever see this,
It probably will be.
we could leave it in. That'd be sort of funny.
Yeah.
But, probably gonna be on Patreon.
Well, I suppose at some point. Yeah.
Which we are working on. For those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do know, you're probably watching it on Patreon.
No, could be.
Yeah.
And
Looks like we got it here.
All right. Okay.
Amazing.
Sorry about that. All right. Now we're
cut we got.
Okay. So what do we got now? So that was the end of the regular album.
Yep.
Now we're going into the deluxe.
Yeah, I'm
songs.
curious how this goes, because it actually progressed the album into him being like, oh, he's almost there, basically.
Yeah, the only one I thought maybe like 11:11 could have been sooner. But there again, he put it as the 11th song. Maybe that was like, I got to put it as the 11th.
I'm curious if he did that because of that, or if that was the genuine pattern, because that happens a lot. You go up and down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely it could be. And maybe, wrote it in order. I just saw something. I think I told you, like an interview with Olivia Rodrigo on her new album. She said that
it's in order.
It's completely in order, as it happened in her relationship, and that's how the track list is. So maybe it's similar, or the same. Who knows?
Yeah. So next, first one we got off the deluxe is "Do I Dare." See if it keeps the pattern going.
They say a clean cut heals the quickest. December to May was spick and spotless, 'cause only you find it funny. I saw a wren fly at a window, and if I befriend you, will I crash in magnificent blur? Do I dare?
it's interesting. Like, so he's over the person, but not entirely, or just that, now it's been a year, and you miss the person. So yeah, do I dare? Because it took a year to get over you. It's gonna take another year if start things up again and it goes bad.
You just hope that they're sort of better.
Yeah, but relatable. Like that one line was like, something about like, you're the only one I know would be, that'd be funny too. Like, you're still the very first name I'd like to reach to tell because only you'd find it funny. Like I've had that, feeling before where like there's certain things where, in a relationship, certain things make you both laugh about, and then when it ends, you're like, man, like, this person would think that'd be hilarious. But I don't want to call that person, right? Yeah. But after time, like a year or more has gone by, then sometimes you think, okay, well, now we can just be friends at least. But it's like, but do I dare? Because, because really, there's a part of you who wants to be more than friends. It's because he says, like, it wasn't just do I dare, but repair. Like,
Yeah, there's repair.
But that's repair the friendship, repair the love, or, so it's, yeah, I can see that would be tough. Like, all right, it's been enough time, but has it been?
Yeah, and that's tough. I'm sure I feel like most people would tell him like, no.
Yeah, it's generally not a good
idea. I mean, I feel like it would be no, but also it's like, dude, if there's one thing about love, I don't know. You go for it. You tell me how it went. I'm not gonna advise you on anything. You just pick your own decision and we will pray from the sidelines.
That is generally the smartest thing to ever do as friends or family. The worst thing you do is just like, I've known somebody who did that. Like, thank God you're done with that bitch. And then they get back together and it's like, you took bitch out of context.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie.
That's the worst, So,
that's why, because that's pretty common.
It's not uncommon. People get back together, so I was like, I'm just gonna, I'm here if you need me as a friend.
Maybe it works. Maybe they married and then they stay together till they die. So it's like you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
So generally not a good idea. I would, but you just can't stay out of it. Do I dare? Yeah, that's a you call, man.
Exactly. Do I dare, man? Don't look at us. Don't look at us. We don't know.
Yeah. Oh no. So good song.
Yeah, it was good. House That Always Rains is next. It sounds sad off the title.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't sound awesome. Some rain great, but not always.
If it's still keeping chronological order, like I'm like maybe he did call and that went wrong. That's what I'm thinking.
Could be, and it does seem to be in chronological order. I mean that makes sense. Like it's been a year.
Yeah, exactly. It actually is.
Okay.
Here we go.
Swift and strange in clouds of Texas rain. Your born city slip with both sharp shoulders chipped. Always more to prove to boys in private school. Don't that explain why we're afraid of love? Don't that explain why we're afraid of love? For the first time I saw you in the door frame of the house that always rains. Come and find me, stay shouting in the house that always shakes. Oh, if I could do one thing over again, I would be less of a lover to you and more of a friend. I would have got it in my
I still don't exactly know what the house or that always
know.
rains is. Feel free to let us know if you.
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling it's
I got the
definitely
general idea.
metaphorical and,
Right, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And that's fine. And it's some interesting, introspective parts there where he was, saying like, if I could do it all over again, or one thing I could do over again, I'd be less of a lover to you and more of a friend like that. That was kind of interesting. And just that I would have got in my head that it's not all about me, I was scared of being left. You were scared of being seen.
Yeah, that was a good part. That was a
Yeah,
good
I
lines
thought,
right
I
there.
thought it was really good lines there.
Yeah, those are good. I mean, just when he says that though, it is, there's a part that it's like, as the listener, almost like as you would if you were a friend listening to it. You're like, okay, but when you mean that, like, do you mean because the person, you still like the person as a person, you'd be friends with them, or you mean more like you want to be friends, but you sort of like, come on, like it's gonna become something else, like.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, it's definitely knowing it's going to be something else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like he says it in a way that's like, oh, I'd just be friends, but I don't really believe that.
Well, yeah. I think it's more of the idea of being less of a lover to you and more of a friend is more just that. Sometimes you're just, especially early on, like it's just like the lust, the passion. You just want to be together,
Yeah.
And then that's all nice and everything, but sometimes also just being a friend and knowing what the person needs, what your lover needs is, and that it's not all about me, that you have your own things that you're dealing with and you need. So I think maybe just looking at it that way, like I wish I'd been more of a friend, instead of just being so caught up in the emotion without really knowing or really realizing what the other person's needs were or wants were,
True.
So, could be.
Yeah, just because when he says that, but then because the next line is of saying that, like, you were scared of being seen, I was scared of being left. When that follows the not about me, it makes it sound like he's more dissing and being like, well, almost pissy. Like, I would have been a friend since I would have known that you just wouldn't even care about me. That's what it sounds like to me.
I didn't get that, to be honest.
Really, I did.
No, I got to be like...
Because he's been sort of pissy the whole album, too. So
well, I mean, yeah, because, it's not uncommon. You're thinking of things like, well, especially, the person, like, is pretending to be straight and, that whole thing and just left him behind. You're like, okay, well, yeah, he's got a reason to be pissed.
Of course, but I'm saying that's definitely what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I took it as being more honest, more straightforward. I didn't take it that way. I took it as being like, I wish I had been a little bit more of just being a friend, and and thinking that and realizing it wasn't just all about me, and understanding you were scared of being seen. Like he said, truly seen, not just necessarily seen, like seen with a gay lover or whatever, but just being seen as a human. Maybe you just felt like maybe it wasn't. I didn't really. Maybe I was just way more into the whole love part and less on the friend part, and so I wasn't totally seeing what you were going through or whatever. Giving the benefit of the doubt. I don't know,
No idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those last lines are a little confusing. Saw you in the door frame of the house that always rains. I just take it as you sort of look miserable. Or sort of living in a miserable state.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's like, come and find me, right? So because they're shouting in the house that always shakes. So like, I'm not totally, not totally sure on that.
Yeah, I sort of take it just because also his family life and everything. I was like the house that always shakes. Like it's
that's
just
kind of what I was
unstable.
thinking. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it sounds like he's saying like you come from just like maybe repressing yourself, and you're
Because
just
he did
always
say
sad.
like he's, inferred to the person like with the private school. It was like you were, a
Oh,
city
true.
slicker. Like I'm
And it said
small
more like
thing in Texas. And,
harder to impress private boys or something, private school boys,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it sounded like okay, you might be from a more depressive, sad background, and mine's from a very unstable background, and then I think that's why he says like, does that explain why we're afraid of love?
yeah, I think something along those lines.
Yeah, it almost feels like a slight reconciliation. Like he's sort of holding a hand out and being like, maybe there's a reason why we're messed up. And
Yeah. At least it's realizing he played a part in it. That there's some responsibility in it, but there's also might have been out of our control. It's just from our backgrounds or whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
and next is door.
Okay.
Here we go.
I found myself today taking your stop on the train. One word from you, baby, I'll go away. I just need to close this door. Wipe the wine that we spilled off the floor. I just need to close this door. Who do I keep it open for? Only you, my love. Only you, my love. A rosary bead of the headphones we shared on the night that we slept on the floor. I've tried to find somebody else, but it just makes me lonely. You were never even good to me, falling for the person you could be. Just need to close this door. Who do I keep it open for? Only you, my love. Only you, my love. You're calling a cab from the sheets of my bed, and I'm calling your phone and you're not picking up, and I still don't know how. When you left me, you just went and closed this door. Wipe the wine that we spilled off the floor. Who do I keep it open for? Only you, my love. Only you, my love. Only you, my love.
I really like that one.
Me too. I like
Very-
that one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Very bluesy. I like that guitar, like the beginning and end.
Yeah,
just that guitar. It's just a nice bluesy feel to it. And yeah, just that idea, but it's just like realizing it, like got to close the door in the past. Like I got to close this door. Who do I keep it open for?
Yeah.
Only you.
It's interesting though, because he also says it where he's like, he changes it from one word from you, baby, I'll go away. So like, all right, so like if you tell me to go away, I'll go.
Yeah.
But also saying like one kiss from you, I'll turn the page. So also being like, I need to close the door, but I don't know if I need to step in or leave.
Yeah,
Is almost what
step
he's
in or
saying.
step out. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems to
I
be
got
what
to
he's
close the
like.
door one way or the other,
I
right?
just
Inside
gotta
or
do
outside.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
By the end of it, sounds like outside.
yeah, definitely,
'Cause,
because he closed the door, like you just
Yeah, he
left.
just left.
Like, I don't even know when, I don't know how, I don't know. You just closed the door.
Yeah. Did I miss something, or was this supposed to be like this is how it ended, or is this like they got or maybe
It
that,
did seem like it was
hooked
like it
up?
was kind of going back to say to a degree
Yeah.
anyway, how it ended.
Yeah, because I don't know if it was like, because I could totally see that too, being like, all right, after maybe a year, especially, I feel like that'd be the easiest way. It was like if you might have some type of like booty call where you're just like going for sex, and then maybe you just hope it turns into something else, but then that person just leaves. Like,
Yeah,
Before
it
you
could
really
be.
go.
So this could be, the follow up after a year, although it could also be explaining what happened when it happened. you
Yeah.
know? Like when I opened my eyes, you were halfway to London. Like,
yeah, which would be crazy.
what the hell? I'm calling your phone, you're not picking up. Like,
That's wild.
that's a harsh way to just say it's over.
Yeah, man, no words.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in that part, wipe the wine that we spilled off the floor. It could be metaphorical.
Yeah, because I take it as a metaphor. The whole thing is just like, I just, because after that,
Yeah.
I just need to close this door. Who do I keep it open for? Only you. So
Yeah, I don't
we're kind of realizing like keeping that door open is just going to bring me more pain because it's only open for you and you're not coming back through the door.
Come
Like,
back. Yeah.
So yeah, it can be interpreted a few different ways. But I really like that one a lot.
That was a cool one. Yeah, it sounded real nice. I
really
liked it.
like that. Just right off the bat, the guitar, I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
nice. I like that.
I agree.
Cool.
Next, we're on to Moths.
The door is closed,
Alrighty.
Close the window there.
but the window's open.
I know. We thought he did it.
I'll leave the light on, and I'll let the moths in, and I won't beg, but if you need me, just turn around, just turn around. I loved a version of you that you're washing away, and I've been drowning myself trying to cover the drain. So I won't beg, but if you need me, just turn around. And if you wanted, you could meet me on the other side of the street. No touch, no kiss, and let's just talk it out. I'll meet you in the middle. I will always be your friend. The door's closed, but the window's open. I'll leave the light on.
Well, he's making progress. He closed the door.
Yeah.
Well, left the windows open.
Yeah, I feel like that's like sort of a common thing too, and of being like, well, that, I just had something on my head. I don't know what the hell that was. But anyway, but he's like, what does he say here? He's like, I don't necessarily. Yeah, he's like, I won't beg. And like, I'm not necessarily like trying to get back together. It's more like if you turn around, I'll always be here for you. Is sort
Right.
of what it sounds like.
True. And the one part was very honest when he said that. I won't be beg. And then there's a part, might be missing you forever, but you're every song I sing.
Yeah,
and
it
definitely every
continues.
song on this album is about
song
this.
I
Is
sing,
about this person.
Every letter, every word that we don't speak, yeah, all of that. I will always be your friend. Yeah.
But I also, and there's one part where he said, but I loved a version of you, that's washing me
Makes
away,
sense.
basically. That's washing away.
That
whatever.
you are washing away.
That, yeah, I loved a version of you that you're washing away. So, and on a
Yeah.
prior song, he had said something about, paraphrasing, I loved a version of you that didn't really even exist.
Yeah. I
On
mean,
the last song he said.
yeah, I guess both can be right. If you had which that can also be a fault of the person. Not saying that it's Conan's fault, but that happens a lot too. Where like, you'll know how somebody is, and then you get in a relationship with them, and then they'll start complaining. But it's like, well, it's like that person was the same. They didn't change.
Yeah.
They could have been an asshole, but they were an asshole from the start.
Oh, yeah. That,
You just thought they were better.
yeah, exactly. That's true. I just saw something like yesterday. Bill Burr, the comedian, he was
did he?
saying that because he was talking about, he goes, my wife was all upset with me. And I was like, you're being a total ass. He's like, you know who you married. Like, I was an asshole when you met me. We were together
Yeah,
for
man.
years before we got married, and now you act shocked? Like, no, you knew. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so
Yeah.
sometimes there's red flags, and you ignore them.
Yeah, and then here where while you're says the version of you you're washing away. I think that totally. I think again like for like this day and age with social media, I think you could totally easily like you could check their posts and stuff, or you just might be like, oh, this person like now they're suddenly going to the gym or doing something else. It's just like they're different now, and it's like, oh, you're just not the same person, or you're trying.
True.
I
Yeah.
think most of the time they're trying, like, oh, because that's like so common. Is people like post themselves going to the gym, but it's like I feel like if you were actually working on yourself, you wouldn't really post it for the world. But
well,
that's just my personal opinion.
I mean, it's different for different people. you
Yeah,
know.
for
I
sure.
mean, certainly nothing wrong
It's
with
just-
going to the gym and trying
yeah,
to better yourself.
For
but,
sure, it's just it does happen a lot after breakups. I see, and it's like it definitely feels like gives the energy of like, oh, you're sort of trying to almost psych yourself into thinking you're doing better and you're changing.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm also like, I love the version of you that you're washing away. And in his instance, it was like, I love this guy. You seem to really love me, and now you're just
You might
like,
just be with girls.
but you're pretending, and you're
Yeah.
going back. So you're just washing all that away, like pretending
Yeah.
like it never happened. So that's kind of an extra slap in the face.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Good song either way.
Yeah.
And now we're on to the last song called "The Best," which also has the most streams on here out of the 5 by a good margin.
Okay.
So it seems to be the most beloved of the deluxe.
All right, cool.
So here we go. The finale.
It was a bad time, wouldn't go back. But memories of good times, they really last. 'Cause I know it's so low to hate you for leaving without me. But why leave so quickly? Do you miss me? Did all of this past year mean anything? Maybe it's all in my mind. When I was so pleased that you left, I could make peace with it, finally sleep with it, finally wish you the best. Grew out your buzz cut, now my hair is short. Nothing like it once was when I was yours. But you just walked away. Maybe it's all in my mind. I swear if I saw you tonight, we could make peace with it, not have to sleep with it, haunting me all of the time. I'd take back the shit that I said when I was so pissed that you left. Sometimes I wonder, were we ever even friends? Sometimes I wonder if it really is the end. I wanna watch you while the words come out your mouth. That's gonna miss me like I know you miss me now. Maybe it's all in my mind. I swear if I saw you tonight, we could make peace with it, not have to sleep with it, haunting me all of the time. Finally wish you the best. Finally wish you the
All right. Well, it's the most closure he's gotten so far in the relationship.
Yeah. He's hopeful.
Right. Yeah. There's hopeful of being friends or just kind of just you get to that point where you can wish somebody the best after they break your heart. Like that's a big breakthrough.
It's a tough,
That could take a long time if it ever happens.
He's and it's sort of similar to the song we talked about earlier. It says, "Oh, I have a lot of the same points, but it's sort of back to where he's like, I think we can make it work if we see each other." Which is I feel like that's such a great line too, because it's just like all right, well, I'm not gonna make a move because I'm terrified. I know you're not gonna make a move because you're terrified. If we just happen to see each other, that'd be great. that's like what he says. Like,
pretty much. At the very least, they could be friends. And it did kind of go back to the first song and other stuff, like at the beginning of it, because it was talking about like wearing his sweatshirt, because I said that in the very first
did he
song.
say that? I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
because at the
that.
very beginning, and his hazel eyes, because talked about green eyes in the first song.
Yeah.
Yeah, arms in your sweatshirt, primrose at
Oh,
night,
okay. Yeah.
mint chocolate ice cream, your hazel eyes. So that's literally from the very first song of the album. The actor
Yeah.
talks about those things. So, but man, I mean, the way it broke up, it sounded pretty harsh.
Yeah, it sounded pretty bad. That's why I'm a little confused
Why,
there.
like you left me so quickly, So,
But like we said, I mean, very specific. Love is very specific. So, part of the relationship, there might be some reason. Seems hard to believe, but you never know. There might be something, and maybe y'all can work it out. I'll root for you, Conan. I'll root for you.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. I mean, I have known people that
Yeah, for sure.
you know, split up, and a couple of years went by, and then then they finally didn't realize,
Yeah,
like,
they
you know
fix
what,
things up.
I miss you. I I did love you.
Yeah, like, I messed up, man.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, and they got together and were happy, so went
Yeah.
on and had a kid and everything.
Yeah, and I bet everybody in their circle was telling them that's a terrible idea while they were doing it too.
Oh yeah,
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 for sure.
yeah.
But it works. So yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know, right? So
never know, yeah.
it's hard.
It's a gamble. You just have to pick for yourself if you're willing to take that gamble, I think, and that's it.
That's the main thing. Like, is it worth it? Knowing that it's likely to fail
Yeah,
again.
I personally think it's like, if you genuinely believe, you got to take a second for, like, really think to yourself and be like, do you genuinely believe that you have the mental ability to deal with it if it goes wrong? And if it's yes, fuck
Right.
it, you can go for it. Sure, why not? But
Yeah.
if you know yourself and you're like, no, I'm gonna be terribly depressed, don't risk it.
That's the main thing, right? Because, like, it's going through a breakup is so hard, and it's like it's so devastating, and like, it's hard. It could take months, can take years to get over, and like, you're finally kind of over it, and you open yourself
You
up
don't
to that
risk it.
again, like, ooh. And then it's almost worse in a way. Like, one, you're going to be heartbroken all over again. Now I'm going to feel stupid on top of it for just starting over again in the first place. But I know how bad it was the last time.
It's like the double it or nothing, man.
So it is tough. But
But
anyway, making a breakthrough. And it sounds like, as far as, kind of realizing, oh, we could be friends. And I mean, I'm at a point, getting past forget all that stuff I said when I was pissed off when you left.
Yeah.
Because you do talk shit when,
Recognize,
when
like,
that
oh, I
happens.
messed
And
up
it's
too.
like, I want to be at a point where I can wish you the best.
Yeah.
At the very
Yeah.
least. Like,
You want to be there.
yeah, so definitely a breakthrough, and so yeah, it's a good song. I liked it.
I agree. I like it. It's good. It's hopeful. We'll have to see how the next album goes.
Yes.
to
Is
find
there a whole
out,
new
man.
love? Do they get back together? Like, whatever. But man, he got a lot of songs out of that one relationship.
He did. Out of what it seemed like a shorter relationship. So I was like,
Basically,
wow.
like 1 year from what he said,
Holy.
and 5 of those months were on a break. So I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I got 17 songs out of it, so you got something out of the relationship.
Yeah, man, he really, yeah. Yes, there it is. That's the whole of Wishbone. Interesting. I didn't expect it to be a whole complete storyline.
of the breakup, really.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing. Yeah, I mean,
Compared to-
I did not. I had no idea what it was about. I mean, just Wishbone.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't know
kind
either.
of a hopeful thing, obviously.
Yeah.
You know.
And knowing him in the last album, like, I figured love, heartbreak, figured.
Yeah. I mean, I think, was there an album between? Because I know we did Super Ache,
Yeah, we did Super 8.
and there was another one called Found Heaven. Was that? I think,
believe that
between?
is, yeah.
Because I know a lot of people recommended we check out Found Heaven
Yeah.
as well.
From what I know, I'm pretty positive. His first one's Kid Crow, which is one that has, like, Heather, which was massive, and I know that one.
Okay.
And then it goes, I'm pretty sure then it goes Super Ache, Found Heaven, then Wishbone.
Okay.
I believe it's 4. But yeah, so we've done two out of 4 now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
can't
liked
really
it. I mean,
comment on that.
he's a talented guy, and now we know he can hit a really high note.
Yeah, it was a really high note, man.
That was really
Crazy.
impressive.
It was Vodka Cranberry, right? I think it was the same.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was a really cool
I
song. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I'm seeing what would I pick as my favorite. That one's really cool. I could see that one being a hit.
I mean, I gotta say, Nauseous. I really, that one hit me.
Oh yeah, Nauseous was good.
I really like Nauseous a lot.
I do really like that last one, the best. That
That was a really good song too. I like that one a lot.
I think that one. Oh, Door off Deluxe.
Door.
was
I like
good.
that bluesy feel to it. That was
Yeah,
a really
Door
cool
was
one
good.
too.
And then you had Nauseous and Vodka Cranberry. And the first one too. Actor's really good too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great songs on there. Great lines and stuff. Yeah, very, very solid.
So that's about it right there. Thank you guys for watching the video.
Thank you. Appreciate it, as always.
And make sure to go check out Super 8 too if you haven't checked that out.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
did
Watch
a
our
reaction to that.
reaction to that. Yeah, so that's cool.
Or check out the album if you haven't heard that one. That one's great.
It's a great album.
Great album.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll have to do Found Heaven at some point. And
Yeah, and probably Kid Crow.
Kid Crow, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So cool. So thank you for watching. And if you liked it, please give us a like. That always helps us out. And subscribe.
Yep.
We would appreciate it.
And leave some comments. Let us know about anything that you know. Some info on here. Anything else.
Yeah, like is Connell his real name?
Oh yeah,
The guy?
Connell. That is crazy.
There's a lot of clues in there. About, he wears white Nikes. He's in London. He's an actor. You know. Anyway, yeah. But thanks for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.